Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as you will see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we'll be vibing, relaxing, chilling, all cool. I didn't actually record anything else today because I was a little bit busy. Busy earlier, so I didn't record anything. But you know, I would have recorded Amori. I must say, Amori Part 1 has been far more popular than I expected it to be. You know, like, I mean, I can see the trends, it's basically of like how many people watch videos and each of my videos and that sort of thing. And of course, expectedly, the first episode of each of the series is always the most popular because it's like, oh, it's something new. A lot more people check in, and we'll continue that conversation in a bit. Hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:38 PM on Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. Shooting stars. Wait, didn't we have shooting stars yesterday? But I didn't actually do it because I forgot. Yeah, but the first episode's always the most engaged with, I suppose, mainly because people don't really want to watch later episodes if they haven't watched the previous one because, you know, you have no sense of investment, which is fair enough. But also because it's something new. Amori's is really popular for some reason, and at some point, I don't know when exactly, because as I say, I don't do a very good job of tracking how many people who have subscribed to me or whatever. It was actually pointed out to me in comments that people were just like, happy 300 subscribers, and I was like, what? Well, okay, I mean, I didn't reply with a comment being like, what? I went, what? And then I checked my analytics and I was like, oh, I have like 305 or something. I was like, how did this happen? Last time I checked, I was on like 290 or something, and then it stagnated for a little bit of a while. Mainly probably because I didn't have any new series starting up. And new series are normally the best way to actually get people on board. But so if you're wondering ever why the people you watch, they're just like, they play just like a new game every single time and never really seem to finish a Let's Play, that's because they're doing it as a business, and that's because they need, you know, a lot of viewers and people to check stuff out, and people don't generally tend to check out part like 50 or something of a Let's Play unless that's what you've established your brand as. You might be like, why don't you do that if you want to like increase your views and subscribers and that sort of thing? Well, my main sort of purpose when this channel is to actually play the game, so that sounded really patronised. I didn't mean like that. I meant it in like an emphasis way, but it came out with a really patronising tone. I actually want to play the game, so that's, you know, kind of why I'm just like, I'm not so really concerned about doing as many part ones as possible or that sort of thing. Like, as I say, at some point I will start streaming. Maybe when I was streaming I might see it as more of a business venture, so don't be surprised if my streams are very different from my YouTube, from how I play on YouTube, and if things are much more like, feels like they're much more business appealing rather than YouTube, which is much more sort of personal appealing. That's just sort of how things end up being, I suppose, because I mean, I don't know, I was looking into like the monetary value, fiscal benefits, not benefits of Twitch, but like how long it takes, but like what sort of money there is in Twitch, and I was like, you know, Twitch has a surprising amount of money, or like live streaming in general. Like even if you can like, obviously it's a bit of a far goal for me right now to get 100 regular viewers, but even if you have like 100 regular viewers, or even got 1,000 is like enough for you to have like a very comfortable living. Or something like that. Like 1,000 general viewers or whatever, that's like big enough to get you like decent like sponsorships or something like that, right? But 1,000 is quite a lot, so obviously I'm not going to aim that high, you know. It'd be nice to have like at least like 10, like a handful of viewers who come back every now and then to watch these live streams. I think it'll be kind of fun. But yeah, no, I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I am slowly, like, I'm going to work on that D model, which will coincide with when I start streaming. Maybe I should really do it soon. Like, I've kind of forgotten about it. It's kind of got pushed to the wayside because of like other things going on. But maybe I'll work on it today if I remember. And if I don't, then you know, that's just how things happen. But yeah. Anyway, that was just a long story short. I know Amori's pretty popular, it turns out, and apparently people are just like searching out like how many, like who's new to playing Amori. I'm gonna watch him play, which is fair enough, because Amori certainly gives me that sort of like Undertale one-shot vibes, where it's like, well, I don't know for certain if there's branching paths in this game. There might not be branching paths, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were branching paths and like different endings you can get, like a la Undertale. One-shot kind of had different endings, didn't it? Where people just want to see, you know, new streamers or, you know, Let's Players' reactions to things which are going on, which I totally don't blame you for. It's one of the most entertaining things to see, is watching someone you like their content of already play through something which you already know and like, I suppose. Seeing her reactions to big moments is always very entertaining, I think, so, you know, I don't blame you if you're someone new to the channel. Yeah, again, if you're here to watch Mario, you're probably not, as I say, watching this Animal Crossing video, which is fair enough. But yeah, okay. I just wanted to get that out there. So yeah, woo, 300 subscribers. good progress being made, despite the fact that I'm not really putting much progress, I suppose. Not pumping much progress into it. Like 307. Like, how's this happened? Amari's just like, I don't know. Amari's brought a lot of new life into his channel, or new light into his channel, probably. Not really life. I mean, unsurprisingly, Animal Crossing for like 800 days in a row kind of sort of starts to wane off towards, you know, day 800 or so. It's wild though. But you know what's even weirder is the fact that people have watched, like, I think part 1 has like 200 views or something. It's almost 200 views. You know, 10 people actually liked / disliked it, which is incredible. And it's like, that's astounding for something which has only been up for like less than a week for me personally. But then part 2's got 9 views. Everyone watched part 1 and then no one watched part 2. But I guess maybe because part 2 wasn't released by the time part 1 was, so, and then people aren't particularly searching up for part 2 by themselves. And maybe there's 9 people out of 9 people who subscribed, being like, I'm going to watch a Mario part 2. Fair enough. But yeah, we're not going to talk about analytics today, because I think analytics not very interesting. I also don't have a very large sample size, so, you know, there's not really much basis for the data set I'm trying to construe here. Well, not construe, construct it. Construe is the wrong word. Yeah, you know what I haven't done for a while? I haven't done a crossword for a while. I should probably, you know, get on doing that, but it was the saddest thing, is that, like, all my crossword, like, stats got erased somehow. Like, I've been doing them on dictionary.com. I've been doing, I believe it's called universal crossword, is the type of crossword, because, you know, there's lots of different types of crosswords, and it's just the one I did because it's the one I saw Northern Line do, and, you know, that's, like, the other YouTube I watch, and I tried a few of the others, and the universal crossword I like the best because I like its interface the best. It's got a slight bug with it right now, where for some reason, if you're on the second row, like, if you're on the square, on the second row, second column, and you press tab, it immediately jumps to, like, the bottom right, like, corner of the crossword. I have no idea why it does that, but, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. You sort of just deal with it. But yeah, I was really sad, no, not that sad, like, in the grand scale of things to be sad about, this is not that very high, but I was doing crossword, and, you know, then I normally do them daily. Sometimes if I don't do them daily, I'll do like 2 in a day or something, and like slowly catch up. But I was doing it, and then I was just like, I looked at my stats, or not my stats, it shows you like all the previous crosswords, like that you've done previously, and like how long it took you to do them, and like if your percentage completion. And I saw all my data got deleted, and I was like, no. I assume probably my cookies got deleted or wiped on the side, but it was very strange because I hadn't cleared my cookies. I hadn't like maybe I updated Firefox, so, which is why things got a change. But so I was just like, oh, that's a bit sad. And ever since that day, I just haven't been bothered to do the crossword yet. I mean, I could do a crossword right now in the middle of an Animal Crossing episode. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get it open so I can sort of catch up. Like, how many days am I behind right now? I'm probably not too far behind. I think I'm about a week behind or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And, you know, I've got a bit of time to burn today. Why not do... Okay, that's what I'll do today, you know. Rekindle my crosswording. I'm not going to do all of them. Maybe I'll do like 2 or 3. They only take up to... Like, the longest I've taken on a crossword is 15 minutes. But that's normally because by the time it hits the 10-minute mark, or by the time I get really stuck, I'll switch to regular mode or have an expert mode. I would say, on average, the crossword takes me about 10 minutes. No, maybe that's sort of underselling it. I don't know. It basically depends how easy it is and how like intensely I'm doing it. But I'll do a crossword and I'll probably start... Oh, wait. I forgot. When do I need to do the next YouTube thumbnail? For the next... It should be okay because... if you don't know, ACNH is coming to an end. Not quite yet. I have beaten the final boss, but I have decided to try and S-rank everything because I was just like... We should give it a shot. Did I pick up a recipe? I legitimately don't even remember. But I'm trying to S-rank all the levels right now. And we're going to stick with it until I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I was deciding on what game is going to be following from ACNH. And I have decided because it's a game I've talked about within the past month. Certainly. And I'm trying to think what's not a huge spoiler. It's a game I've already played. But I'll leave it at that. And now you're probably asking, like, it's a game you've already played, but Dear Darling's talked about the fact that she doesn't like playing games that she's already played before and thing on her channel. Well, to give you a hint, Baba Is You I played before as well on this channel, but I still did a little bit of a series on that. So, you know, you can look forward to whatever game that will be when it's coming out. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, we were just talking about analytics again. Oh yeah, all my save data got deleted on Crossword, so that's pretty sad. Yeah, I don't know. Your save data being deleted is always like one of the saddest things to happen when you play a game. And I'm trying to think of times it's happened to me before. Oh no, I've talked about this before. Like, I bought a Nintendo Wii, and certainly when I was around that age, which I must have been like 10 or something when the Wii came out. Is that right? Somewhere around then. I didn't get it immediately on release, I don't think. But I got the Wii, and then I started really getting into Nintendo games, especially because at the time I was watching people like Chugga Conroy and Sonic Dude, and now Ant Dude, I think. And they played like GameCube games. So I was like, oh, I'm going to start looking into these GameCube games. Maybe I'll start playing them a little bit as well. And one of them I remember super wanted to play was Paper Mario 1000 Year Dior. Paper Mario 1000 Year Dior is a designer luxury brand. No, Paper Mario 1000 Year Dior, which is probably definitely my favourite, like, retro. I'm not even sure you'd call it retro. GameCube's it feels wrong to call GameCube retro, because when you say retro, I think of like Nintendo 64 and before era, and GameCube and Wii are kind of just like the middle era. We need like different era names, like musical era names. But I guess technically yes, a GameCube would be considered retro now, just like a Nintendo Wii is probably starting to become considered retro. Yeah, I really wanted to play that game, so I went to a local, it wasn't really that local, but there was a game store in a reasonably close shopping centre, which I sometimes went to, just because I used to have my opticians was in that shopping centre as well. So I went there, you know, every time to get my eyes tested or whatever. I'd also, the game store was like almost right next to it. So I went to that game store as well to try and like buy some games. And this was back in the day when game was, you know, actually pretty decent. Nowadays it's, well, it's changed, I should say, because game used to have, like, you know, a focus on games. It had retro games as well. It hadn't, like, I think it might have had Nintendo 64 games as well, but it sold GameCube games still at the time as well, and GameCube accessories. Except for at the time, I didn't know that game, to play and save your progress in a GameCube game, you needed, what are they called, like, a data cartridge, or then you need to plug it into one of the slots. I didn't know that at the time because obviously I never owned a GameCube. So I still remember this, buying a GameCube controller and Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, and I think another game as well. I don't really remember what the other game was off the top of my head, from the game store. And I remember one of the attendees tried to be really helpful and was like, do you have a data cartridge already? Because, you know, I guess they make the assumption being like, oh, you know, this person, they're buying a GameCube controller and they're buying a GameCube game. They probably are someone who's just looking to get into GameCube games. I should probably, you know, ask them if they've got a data cartridge or whatnot, and have you, just to make sure they can actually play and save their progress in the game. And me at the time being like a 12-year-old or whatever, no, maybe 13. I was I was probably 13 at the time, being like, I don't want to talk to people when I'm buying stuff from the shops. But basically being a sort of awkward teenager. I think at the time I didn't even understand what they said. Like, if they were like, do you have a game, like a data cartridge? And I was like, I don't even know what words you said. And they just went, yeah, of course. And then I went home, and it turns out you can't save your data progress without a data cartridge on Paper Mario, or on any GameCube game for that matter. So I made it sort of like a game in of itself to basically see how far I could progress through a game in one sitting, in like 1 hour or whatever. And not like 1 hour or so, but like one sitting's probably like the right word for it. I don't know why I'm sort of like dancing around terminology here. I remember that the furthest I got to was, I think, the entrance of Flick's. Is his name Flick? No. What's that red dragon from Chapter 1 of Paper Mario 1000 Year Door called? In my mind it's Flick, but it's definitely not Flick. Or Flick Tail, I think. That sounds right. Something like that. I got to the start of her castle, I believe. Anyway, next time I had like an eye test on, next time I went to a shopping centre, I bought that save cartridge and it was all good. I also bought some other games, you know, I bought Super Smash Bros. Melee, played it like once, was like, I don't know why I'd play this if I got Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because especially like, as I said before, I see Super Smash Bros. As more of a party game for me, so, you know, playing a party game by yourself is kind of depressing. Well, not depressing, but like it doesn't have that, you know, same draw. While playing a game where your friends would do, and I only had one GameCube controller, so it's like, I would never play this, I suppose, with my friends. So that never really happened. Okay, hold on, talk to people. Plant tree and take a picture, customize. Okay, can do. Oh my gosh, please just open the camera. Yeah. I bought Luigi's Mansion as well, and I hate to say this, I think I was too scared to play Luigi's Mansion. Big old scaredy cat when I was much younger, I suppose. It wasn't like scary, like, and I don't know how to describe it, like, where am I going? I was certainly scared in the sense where I was just like, it's not like scared in the same way that like a haunted house is scary for me personally. It's sort of like, I'm sure it was like tied up with my fear of failure, of like, the fear I was going to do something wrong and die in that game. For some reason felt so much worse than dying in any other game, and I don't know why. I guess because all the stakes are high. It feels like the stakes are higher in that game. So it made me really not want to play it. But like one time a friend visited, and like I was like, he should try it out, and he tried it and he loved it, and it was like, hey, can I play this? And I was like, yeah, I need to play it, I'll watch. And then, you know, I just watched him play through and beat it. That was a really fun time, to be perfectly honest. So, you know, and I did play a little bit, because as it turns out, he was not very good at shooting, spoilers I suppose for Luigi's Mansion 1. He had to shoot like these spiky like cannonballs or something back at Bowser's head. He was not very good at that, so I did that part. I mean, he did the other part where you had to capture the booze. So that was good fun. But anyway, you might be like, where are you building up with this? You know, you've already done your hold on like deleted save data story. Well, what I'm building up to is the fact that I had all these games saved on that game cartridge, and then at one point I was like, you know, it was it around when New Leaf? No, it must have been way before New Leaf, actually. Maybe it was around when Wild World was really... No, it must have been a bit... It must have been like a few years of me into playing Wild World. I was like, I should try and connect with the roots. Oh, hey, giant ribbon. I mean, it's not the ribbon we want, but we'll purchase it. I want the small ribbon. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I was like, I should try and return to my root, not my roots, but like the roots of Animal Crossing, and see what those games were particularly like. So I remember I downloaded an emulator to play Animal Forest on the Nintendo 64. It was all in Japanese, so I didn't really understand what was going on, or particularly well, but I could sort of like make things out. But I was like, I should play the GameCube one. But I was like, I could download an emulator, but I have a Nintendo Wii. I could play Animal Crossing Population Growing, or whatever it's called, on the GameCube. And it could be a lot of fun. So I bought it and played it. And it was okay. It's a game where it's sort of like playing the newer ones feels a lot better than playing the older ones, in my personal feeling, because I don't have the nostalgia glasses, I suppose. Even now, I'm sure if I played Wild World, I'd be like, oh, my eyes feel very painful looking at this. Not because it looks terrible or anything. It's just not that it's like terrible on my eyes or anything. It just like it feels a bit awkward, like looking at it. The quality and fidelity of it is so much lower back then than it is compared to now, obviously. So I remember I played it, and I remember it. Animal Crossing like requires such a large save file, and my poor little whatchamacallit data cartridge was not that big. So as it turns out, when I played Animal Crossing and then I saved a thing, it deleted basically a lot of the things off my my data cartridge to make room for that Animal Crossing save. I don't know if it was something that I manually did or something that just happened automatically and I didn't like pay enough attention to what happened, and I felt a little bit sad. But then I thought about it a bit more and I was like, I don't really have any like important save data on that GameCube thing, you know? Like the only important one was Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, but it's like, I don't really mind playing through that game again. That game probably holds up pretty well, I'd like to imagine. So it might be a lot of fun. And then, like, what else am I save data? My Luigi's Mansion save data, which is not even my save data. It was technically my friend's save data because I didn't actually play it. Maybe I'll play through it again? Probably not. I don't think Luigi's Mansion is super my sort of game at the end. But it does... I like it as a concept. But as it just turns out while playing it, I'm not, like, super infused while playing it, which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, it happens. And then, like, my Super Smash Bros. Melee save data, which, like, who cares? I had like, oh, you know what was more sad was actually the fact I lost all my Mario Party save data. Like I lost my Mario Party 4, Mario Party 6 save data, so I had, you know, had to unlock all the characters and mini games again, all my world records. That's pretty tragic. But it happens, you know, sometimes your save data just gets deleted. You know what's the saddest thing? I'm more sad about losing all my GameCube save data is the fact my Plants vs Zombies save data is gone. Which is even more weird because there definitely was cloud save data in the time I played Plants vs Zombies. I remember like it got rolled out or whatever, and I think even now Plants vs Zombies still has cloud save data, but all my progress has been, you know, deleted. My like 1,000 wave zombie survival endless data deleted. My I don't know, my like 1,000-foot tall like tree of wisdom or whatever it's called, that's all deleted. All that money I've earned on all the challenges I've completed, you know, the marks of that gone. I suppose the achievements are there. Although technically I still never got to like wave 15 of iZombie or wave 10 of Vase Breaker. I can't remember which way around it goes. So certainly I suppose I can go back and just play for them at some point. There's really no issue there. But it does make me feel a bit sad because I spent, I've talked about it before, Plants vs Zombies, before TF2 and before Rainbow Six Siege and before League of Legends. It was my most played game, probably. Certainly my most played online game. Oh, hey look, Wickerbottom's been refreshed and don't starve together. She got an update. That's pretty cool. What's an update? Okay, I don't know. I'll read you about later. It's amazing me Don't Starve Together still gets all these like really constant updates. Wickerbottom I did like playing. You might be like, who did you play? I played Wendy and I played Wickerbottom. Most of the time. But I remember Wickerbottom, like, she has a really bad drawback of she couldn't fall asleep, right? So that was just like, oh. Just the actually utterly terrible drawback for what is an okay benefit was like where she gets like +1 like science level essentially. She gets and then they introduced some new things where she can make books to do things, but they cost her sanity, which was like kind of annoying. that's all I remember. Did we give the things back to Gulliver? We need to talk to one more person and we need to customize something. Seems like we did. But why can I not find anyone to talk to? Who ate all my villagers? Are they all just like chilling inside? Where are they all? Hello? Oh, Amelia's over here at least. Hello, Amelia. What are you thinking about? Rest at my house. Yeah, okay. We've got about 9 minutes. Sure, I don't mind. I'm trying to think of like other times my save data has been deleted. I remember. I think I told this story before, but like I was like in year 1 or something, and maybe year 2. I really can't remember off the top of my head. But it was basically like on the final day of school, or like final day of terms or whatever, you could bring in your like video game consoles and play games. So we'd all like bring in like our DSs, or well, not DSs at the time, like Game Boys, I suppose, or like other games like Tamagotchis, our card games, Top Trumps, and we just basically spend the entire day playing games rather than having like lessons in primary school, which is, you know, fantastically fun. But of course, what was I going to say? One time, my friend bought in, I can't remember, I think it was Yoshi's Island for the Game Boy or the DS or whatever, and he had like fully completed game. He had 3 save files and fully completed, like 100%ed or whatever. I feel so horrible about this. And he was like, hey, if you want to try playing the game, you can try playing it. And I was like, cool, I'll try playing it. And when I saw it, the save file things, and I was like, I don't know why in my head I was like this, but in my head, I was like, oh, I guess I meant to like, it was okay, like, I meant to like start a new save file, right? He was like, if you want, like, surely he wouldn't want me to play on 100% like done save file, because, you know, what's there to play? The game's already been beaten. So I deleted one of his save files and then started a new game playing through and had a really fun time. To be honest, I remember it being like, oh, I was like, oh, maybe I'll buy this game. It was actually a lot of fun. And then I gave it to another one of my friends, because he wanted to try play through, and he was playing through. And then he looked, and I remember the original friend it belonged to looked at, oh, you're gonna water my flowers? That's very nice of you, Amelia. Looked at him playing, because he was like on a world map, and I was like, oh, but it's a bit of a weird thing that it doesn't have all the levels completed for you already. You know, I've already beaten it all on my on my game already. And then I remember at that moment my heart sort of like dropped. I went, oh no. Turns out I was not meant to delete a save file, and I realised it really makes no sense for me to delete the save file at all. So, you know, if you're watching this, you know, a friend I had in primary school who lent me Yoshi's Island once, I'm very, very sorry for deleting your save file data. I suppose on the other hand, what's wrong with me? Apparently I'm in a minus penny show now. On the other hand, he could probably just copy his other save data to that slot, and it would literally make no difference. But oh yeah, sure. You want to see the other rooms? Why not, Amelia? I wonder if Amelia will comment on the fact we have a photo of not a photo of her, of a poster of her up a room. Amelia, where is your photo? I can't say I recall. I don't know, but you got your boyfriend Apollo up here. Hope you don't mind. Where's Amelia's? Oh, Amelia, there you are. You can notice the fact I've got your photo up there. A puppy plushie. It's all fun and games. How could I have known? We'll take her to the basement and see she reacts to the fact I've got a poster up on the wall. Be quite an amusing, I think, thing to find out. Or weird, I suppose. Could be very weird. What do you think? What do you think about that? Amelia. What if I push her over to the poster? Do you think she'll notice? All right. Well, she doesn't she doesn't care in the slightest. If it's my fashion room or the future gifts I would have given you, but you know, now that you don't care about it, who cares? So we'll just quickly take Amelia to all these other rooms and then we'll round up this episode. I'm trying to think about any other times like save data has been deleted. I feel really bad about deleting the save data because it's such a it's like the thing when you look back on, you know, obviously with your adult mind, where you're just like, why would I do that? But as a child, you're like, this makes perfect sense. Of course he wanted me to play on a new save file rather than like his 100%ed save file. Well, what makes it even worse is I didn't even tell him at the time. Because, you know, I didn't want to be like that person, be like, oh yeah, it's kind of deleted all your save data for, you know, a really stupid reason. I bet he thought it was our other friend who did it instead of me. It's just, I don't know. Are they still friends now? Who knows? Maybe I irreparably like damaged their friendship. Probably not. I would say. At least I hope not. Shifty eye, shifty eye. That's right. Who's going to watch day 880 or whatever we are on Animal Crossing New Horizons video diary? No one has to know. It's a secret between you and me, okay? I'll say that if I ever see that person again, I will very much tell them that happened. But they probably won't even remember. As a recurring theme with all my stories I tell from primary school and secondary school, no one else but me remembers them. It's literally just only my memories. It feels so awkward being like, oh, you know, I want you to leave me, Amelia, so I had to physically leave and just be like, oh, you know, I was just planning to leave you here in my home, I suppose, while I sort of just go about my day. I can't even, the manners, absolutely bad manners. But yeah, I don't know, you ever deleted your save files, whatever, on purpose, on accident? Sometimes it happens. But you know, life moves on nonetheless. So anyway, I'm going to round off this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares, I greatly appreciate it. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.